Beyond learning the formulas, we're going to talk about finding perimeter, and we're going to talk about finding circumference and area and all that stuff. But then our algebra skill part is, I'm going to give you the area, and you have to work backwards using algebra to find maybe a side length. Or you have to, given the area, work backwards and find the perimeter, which means that we have to figure out the side length in order to find the perimeter, okay? So, and that's where, you know, in terms of our emphasis on literacy, that's where that's going to come into play, okay? All right, so starting with a rectangle, okay? A rectangle, simply, you all know that, okay? Opposite sides are equal to each other, it has 4 right angles, okay? All right, so when we get into like the formula and stuff, what letters do you use to mark your sides? Like some people do base and height, like base times height, and some people do length and width. What are we comfortable with? Length times width? Length times width? Okay, so then we'll stick with length times width. All right, so length and width. All right? So what's a quick and easy way to find perimeter for a rectangle? Add up all the sides. So perimeter in general, just to make sure that we understand, whether it's a hexagon, a dodecagon, an undecagon like we learned yesterday, you just add up all the sides. You saw that on the last question with the wire. 7 times 15, 15, 15, 15, etc. But there is a quick and easy way to do this, and since there's 2 lengths, we could do 2L, and since there's 2 widths, we could do 2W, and that's a quick way to find the perimeter. Okay? All right. Just to take this a step further, understand, we're going to talk about units. Your science teachers are going to emphasize units. So to be consistent, we want to do the same. Okay? So perimeter is one-dimensional, okay, in terms of it has like a total length. So therefore it's feet, it's meters, it's miles, or it's just plain old units. Okay? No exponents on any of these. Okay? But area, how do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width. Okay? Its units are feet squared, meters squared, miles squared, units squared. Units we use when they don't tell you. So like if we were to take our example on our graph here, okay, like this would be 8 units, 8 units. Okay, so that's just an example. They didn't tell us if it was centimeters or anything. Okay? All right, square. Square, big picture, understand, tick, 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 all the sides are the same. And since a square is a rectangle, it has 4 right angles as well. Okay? All right, so what do you use to mark the sides? Length and width. So are you telling me on a square that the length and width are 2 different values? No. So what do you use then? Side by side. Side by side, or how about we just say S for one of the sides, and all the sides are S then? Yeah. All right. So what would be a quick way to find the perimeter if one of the sides was given to us? S times 4, so 4S. Okay? So an example, let's say that the side length of the square was 7. What's the perimeter? 28. So in this case, we would say the perimeter is 28 units, because I didn't tell you whether it was centimeters, inches, or anything like that. Okay? All right, what's a quick way to find the area? I stumped you? How do you find the area of a square? Anybody?
Length times width.
All right, but we're not using length and width.
S times S.
S times S. What does S times S mean?
Squared.
S squared. Very good. Okay. So in terms of our example, okay, if I gave you 7, I would just do 7 squared, 49. And again, since I didn't specify units, I would just say 49 units squared. Okay? All right, so just double checking for the rectangle. If I put a 5 up here and a 7 here, what's the perimeter? And this time I'll give you units, so go centimeters. What's the units? Sorry, what's the perimeter? 24. What's the area? 35. And so the perimeter would be 24 centimeters, and the area would be 35 centimeters squared. Okay? All right, triangle. I'm going to draw two of them because one of them is a special case. All right, the first one you can just draw an obtuse, acute, whatever type of triangle you want. Okay? So just plain old Jane triangle. Okay? So big thing that you have to understand on this. There is a line that goes from the vertex down to this side and forms a right angle. What's that called? Height. Very good. So this is the height of the triangle, and then this line here is going to be known as our base. The height and the base absolutely, 100% of the time, have to be perpendicular. Okay? So, don't write this down. I'm just going to do a quick example here. Okay? So 4, 5, and then I'm going to erase it. So don't even bother writing it down. Okay? If I eventually ask how to find like the area, which numbers would we use if the area formula uses the base and the height?
It's a 5.
Do we use the 4?
No.
Do we use the 7?
No.
So the only ones we're going to use are the 6 and the 5. And the reason is because those are the two that are perpendicular to each other. Okay? So big emphasis is make sure you understand it has to be the perpendicular ones. Okay? All right. Next. Sometimes you get a right triangle. Where's the base? Where's the height? Oh, Spencer.
The height's on the side.
Okay.
The base is on the bottom.
All right, very good. Okay, so in this case, the base and the height are actual side lengths.
Yep.
Okay, so make sure you understand that idea. Okay, all right, for perimeter, I'm going to just throw in an A, a B, and a C. Okay, basic concept for perimeter, you guys know this for all polygons. Perimeter is simply the sum of the sides, so A plus B plus C. Okay, all right. Just remember that's true for, like I said, all polygons. All right, just add up all the sides. All right, area formula for a triangle.
Oh, I know it.
All right, Spencer. Go
Base
ahead.
times height.
Letty.
6 times height divided by 2.
Ah, there we go. So it's base times height divided by 2, or some people do 1/2 the base times the height. You don't need to know both. Only write down the one that you would use. Okay? All right, so whatever one you're more comfortable with. Okay? Dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. All right, last one.
Wait, I didn't write it
What?
down.
Oh, sorry. I'll do this. I'll zoom out. Okay?
Slow down.
Sorry. All you gotta do is tell me.
Real fast.
Just tell me. Like I said, I ask that all the time. If I'm going too fast, just let me know. All right. So the next one, circle. Okay? So there's going to be a couple of pieces that we got to talk about on the circle. Okay? For example, what's this red line called if it goes from the center out to the circle? Not the equator. The equator deals with a sphere, not a circle. Okay? What is it? It's the radius. Okay? So that's the radius, the distance from the center to the circle. What is the distance all the way across the circle called? That's called the diameter. Okay? All right? Make sure you understand those two ideas. And the reason is because when we talk about circumference, circumference is the word we use for perimeter. What's the circumference formula?
I don't know.
There's actually 2 ways to figure it out.
D times R.
All right, not D times R, you're on the right track.
R times 2.
Hint, hint, hint. You got to use this famous Greek letter. Right.
But that's hard.
No, it's not. Because I'm going to show you how easy it can be. Okay?
Pi times diameter. Pi times radius squared.
Okay, you're starting to get it. So, couple of quick questions just to kind of, put the two together. Okay? How does the diameter relate to the radius?
It's just the radius, but Times 2.
Alright, so the diameter is equal to 2 radii. You don't probably have to write this down because we're going to put it in the circumference formula. And then the radius, you understand, is equal to half the diameter. Okay, so circumference actually has 2 methods that you can use. Okay, you can find it using the diameter. It's just simply diameter times pi. Or you can use the radius, since the diameter is 2r. Some of you might know 2 pi r. The biggest mistake that people make on circumference is they want to square that r. Hint, 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 we're going to use that for area. Okay? Now, you said that this is hard. It is not. Okay? Do not write this example down. I don't want you to get confused by it later. Okay? So I'm just going to draw this down here. Okay? I am going to give you that this is a 5. Can someone tell me what the circumference is? And I want your answer in terms of pi.
Can I use a calculator?
No. So this
How am I
is,
supposed to do it?
alright, so this is what I'm getting at. Do you agree that the circumference is found by just doubling the r and then multiplying by pi?
Yeah.
So we're going to go with what Sumrit just said. The circumference is 10 pi. No calculator needed at all. This is referred to as an exact answer. So when I say exact, I want you to leave your answer in terms of pi. Okay? Otherwise, you would have to take out the calculator, type in 10 pi, and then round. That would be an approximate answer. So we're going to talk about that in one of our examples in a bit. Okay? All right? So, going back to our chart, how do you find the area of the circle? Hint, hint, hint. We got to use that Greek letter again.
Isn't it r squared pi or something?
All right, so it's r squared pi, or for some reason we learn pi r squared. I don't know if it just rolls off the tongue better or what. So pi r squared. So in this circle that I told you not to draw, okay, or not to write down, okay, what would the area be in terms of pi as an exact answer? Exact. 25 pi. All he did was 5 squared, and he got 25 pi. Okay, this is an exact answer. This is what we're going to do like on the quiz and the test. So you don't need the calculator part, okay? All right, and then same thing. If I tell you that the area of a circle is 49 pi, what's the radius? The area is 49 pi. What's the radius? 7, because all you did was take the square root of 49, okay? So, easy peasy, okay? Questions so far?
No.
Am I going too fast? We good? All right, so let's go through this example. This one's a little complicated, okay, but we're going to split it up and we're going to do it together as a group, okay? All right, so it gives you the triangle with the following vertices. What's the approximate? Okay, we're going to do exact and then we're going to do approximate, just so we understand the difference between the two. What's the approximate perimeter of the triangle? Okay? What should we do? Ideas?
Draw a triangle.
All right, let's draw the triangle. Okay? Since all these numbers are positive, I'm only going to draw the first quadrant. Okay? So 1, 1, 2. Here's my Q. Okay, R is 4, 6. So 2, 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, all right, and then 5, 2. So 5 and then 2. All right, so now if I connect, I've got my triangle. Now my goal is to find the perimeter. So what concept do we need to use? Not base times height for perimeter. That's, remember, that's area.
Add up all the sides.
Add up all the sides. Do we know what the side lengths are? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
No. What do we got to do to find the side lengths? That's what I'm getting at. Hint, hint, hint. We got to do something that we learned earlier in this chapter.
Count the units or whatever.
Oh, find the distances. So that means we have to do what?
Use the distance formula.
Distance formula. So we're going to do the distance formula. Okay? What? Q to S. Would you agree on?
4.
4. Okay? So now just out of curiosity, did you do the distance formula?
Yeah.
Did anybody not do the distance formula? So none of you just, since yours was a horizontal line, just counted 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh my.
Oh, okay, all right. R to S. R to S.
We did not discuss or come with a common answer yet.
All right. And then we'll go to Q to R.
5.
5? 5. All right, so we've got a 5 over here. All right. So now we just need R to S.
4.
Ryan got 4. No idea.
I did the.
I'll give you a hint. It's not a perfect number.
5.
No. What?
Go ahead, 6.
To the square root of 6, square root of 17.
Square root of 17. Ding, 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 ding. Square root of 17. Okay. All right. So we're going to find the perimeter. Okay. Perimeter is the sum of the sides. So 5 plus 4 plus the square root of 17. So now the question is, are these like terms? Can we combine them all together?
No.
So what would it be if we were to combine it together?
9 square root of 17.
9 square root 17?
Yeah.
Now if I do 9 square root 17, if they're sitting side by side, what operation is that? So we're changing it from adding to multiplying? So it should be 9 plus the square root of 17. Okay? So this should be a plus and then square root 17. Okay? All right. This is known as an exact answer. And the reason is we did not use our calculator. We did not approximate or round the square root of 17. Okay? Now it's asking us to find the approximate. So now what that means is they want you to type in 9 plus the square root of 17 on the calculator. Can someone do that? You got 13.123, so we'll go 1, 2, okay, and a few more numbers. All right. So when you round, you are finding the approximate. And to talk about units, they didn't give us inches or anything, so this would be units, and this would be units. Okay. If it was area, it'd be units squared. All right. Questions on that? Yeah.
So like if you're not getting any units, you're supposed to write a U every single
Yep.
time?
Okay? All right, number 2. They give you the circumference. The goal is to find the area. Do we need to go through this one together? You're good? All right, try them with your tables.
So the circumference is diameter times pi.
Stop. So he said circumference is equal to diameter times pi.
So since we already had the circumference, I just divided the circumference by pi to get diameter.
Okay, so he divided by pi, and now d equals, he got like 7.68 or something, right? Okay, all right. All right, then what'd you do?
So then we divided diameter by 2
Okay,
to get the radius.
okay. So since the diameter is equal to 2 radii, okay, he divided by 2, and he got r to equal 3 point, what was it, like 8.2 or something like that? Okay, so now that's your radius. That's not the answer to the question, though. What are we going to do with that information?
You have to square it and then multiply it by pi.
All right, so now we got to do 3.82 squared, and then times pi on the calculator, and you should get roughly, I think I said 45 point what? What'd you get, 0.81? 84, so 45.84, okay? And since it's centimeters, that'd be centimeters squared, okay? So the objective here, and this is a very common SAT type question, they have you use one thing to find another, okay? So the objective here was to figure out the R value from the circumference so that we could use it to find the area, okay? Great job, okay? All right, page 2. All right, very similar type of question where we gotta, figure something out, okay? And then use it, okay, to answer the question. All right? So, in this one, they give us a rectangle. They tell us that the area of the rectangle is equal to 18. The length of the rectangle is twice its width. Okay? So, reminders. Anytime they're comparing, okay, we're looking at this sentence here. The length is twice the width. They're comparing it to the width. Do we know what the width is? No. So what do we make the width?
X.
Okay, x, w, whatever you want to make. Okay? So the length is twice the width.
Squared.
X squared, 2x. Which one?
X squared.
What's twice? So if I said to run 3 miles and do that twice, so, alright, so it'd be 2x. Alright, now, we gotta find the dimensions, and in order to do that, we have to go back to sentence number 1, which tells us that the area of the rectangle is 18. So, the area of the rectangle formula we said was length times width, right? So 2x times x equals 18. What's x times x? Now it's x squared. So now it's 2x squared equal to 18. How do we get the x by itself?
Divided by 2.
X squared equals 9. How do we get plain old x?
Divided by 2.
Not divide by 2.
Divided by
Square root. Okay? X is equal to 3, so our width is equal to 3. The length is twice as long. So what's the length? 6. Now, to double check, the area is 18. Is 6 times 3 18?
Yes.
So we did good. Okay? All right. Last one. This one deals with the idea of a square. So you've got your square here. Okay? Right angles. Okay? And it says that for us to find the area if the perimeter is 70. So P equals 70. And if we want to find the area, what do we got to do? What do we got to do, Zach?
Well, we're gonna do it first, we gotta find like each side.
Okay.
Divide by 4.
Very good. So he says divide by 4 so that we can find the side length. What's the side length? 17.5 I heard. Okay? And since it's 70 inches, that'd be 17.5 inches. Alright? How do I use the 17.5 to find the area?
Square.
Just square it. So what's 17.5 squared?
I got it. I don't think it's right though.
It should be above 300.
Okay, yeah, 306.25.
306.25 inches squared. Okay? Questions? All right, I wasn't going to